Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, whenever this video finds you. 2025, this is going to be a year. In numerology, it's a 9-year. However, I feel like that 9 isn't about endings. It's more about the highest frequency. The highest frequency getting us into connection to Christ consciousness, which is what 2025 is all about. The splitting from the 3D into the 5D. And really feeling that division more than the previous few years have been leading us up to. So more things falling away, more things being revealed. Your life is going to change if it hasn't already, in big ways. And I don't feel like this is anything that you don't already feel internally. You don't feel or haven't felt the rumblings of. For many of you, they've been more than rumblings. There's been actual crashes as far as what is going to happen in your life to raise your frequency. Everything that happens in our life starts internally. And that can be really, really daunting, but also very revelatory. So when you're getting right with yourself, or when things are being revealed to you that's on the inside, that you've been carrying this whole lifetime, that it's time to dispel, to release, to understand, to be aware of. Because until you understand or be aware of what you're carrying, the cat wanted to come in. There's no way that you can transform it. There's no way that you can release it. There's no way that you can address it in any way, shape, or form if you're not aware of it. If it's something that is so unconscious, so buried in your subconscious. And so I feel like 2025 for all of us is going to be bringing stuff up. And for some of us, it's like, okay, I've been brought stuff up. Like I've been working on myself and working on all kinds of things. But we have to understand that there are layers. And it's these layers that 2025 is bringing you to deeper layers. For some of you, it's pulling that root right out. And that root of despair, of grief, of anger, of resentment, of betrayal, threat, victim, unworthiness, whatever it is that you're really holding on to. Because that's been your program. That's been how you've operated up until a few years ago, up until the last decade, up until now. And so it's time. It's time to address it. It's time to transform it. And that's what 2025 is going to be about, transforming it. So we are going to be brought to what we need. And I don't want to scare anybody because I want you to get excited, because what you need isn't anything I think you even know. Because again, if you're dealing with something that is so buried within you, a trauma response, a trauma bond, neglect at an exponential level, fear ingrained in you to show up because of threat, because you're going to get hurt, right? These are what we have been brought into. And as a light worker, which if you're finding me, you are welcome. Here's your validation. 2025 is revealing to you, you are a light worker. So you've been through some stuff. You've been through some big, big stuff. You've been traumatized. You've been abused. Physically, mentally, emotionally, verbally. And maybe all of them. 2025 is the time to step out of. the rest of that stuff, those feelings. So for some of you who've been trying to push this healing aside, been trying to push away making the changes you keep being brought to make, Spirit doesn't give up on us. God doesn't give up on us. So your guardian angel keeps taking you to what is going to be better for you. What is your actual road? Not what you think your road is because it's comfortable, because it's where you've always been. That's not it. It's time to get off that road. And that is what this year is going to be for you, getting off that road. And for some of you, you've been taking the steps off. For some of you, you have gotten off it. And now it's like, what is the new road? Wherever you are on this journey, you are exactly where you're supposed to be. So I don't want you to have any recriminations or anger towards yourself for, I saw it, I didn't take it. It's okay. It wasn't the right time for you. You weren't in the right place. It wouldn't have gone the best because you wouldn't have been doing it in the right energy, the right frequency. And that's what this 9 frequency is going to do. It is going to help us to get to the highest frequency that we're ready to get to this year, which is going to help foster those changes and help you find the courage, the connection to Christ consciousness, the ability to surrender in a way that you've never been able to surrender before, or maybe ever. Maybe this is the year that you learn into leaning into surrender, having the faith to know that there is more than just this human physical existence, that your connection to your inner self, your inner being, your higher self, your oversoul. Because that's the other thing that's happening this year, is more of that soul is coming into the physical. And so there's a feeling of connection to everything that is going to feel more. Connection to your relationships, to your dreams, to your goals, to your space. Many of you have been bumped out of spaces because you don't fit there energetically anymore. Whether it's a home, a relationship, a job, a friendship, an area, physical area, you don't fit there anymore. You don't vibrate there anymore. And so there is going to be some grief, and there is going to be some needing a minute to kind of get into, okay, the change is being made. I've got to make the change, right? The change is here. And so that's what this 9 vibration is all about. Endings to some extent, yes. Because will these new higher frequencies take you into new situations? Absolutely, it's what it's all about. Getting you out of that 3D consciousness of living in the competitive, fearful energy and getting into the co-creative, cooperative, unity consciousness that is the higher frequency. So that's where you're being brought to. So let's get into this pick a card, shall we? All right, card number 1. Card number 1, welcome. Thank you for being here. All right, we got the 6 of Keys, the increscent moon in reverse. The increscent moon in reverse, 6 of Keys. So let's start your message off with, there they are. Six of Keys in reverse, the 2025 beginning. What it's bringing you is the reversal shows that a phase of decrease is here. The moon is waning, the tides are ebbing away. Energy, money, and even your creative flow may feel tight for a while. The forces around you seem prohibitive, so conserve your energy rather than spend it in futile action. Though this seems like a difficult time, don't be dismayed. It's not permanent. The moon, like all things, moves in cycles, and quickly too. So take a deep breath, rest, and know that the time of increase will return. So this year is going to be about you not spending your time in futile pursuits. So anything that isn't working or hasn't worked in the past, it's not going to work. So you're being brought this knowledge and this understanding that even though you've been pushing for something, trying to force something, something that you thought was supposed to be yours, this is where spirit is bringing you into this, bumping you out of it because it's not supposed to be yours. That it was at one point, and there was a time and a place in your life for that, whatever it is, the job, the relationship, the friendship. Relationship can be romantic, can be platonic. But whatever you feel like you keep putting your energy into and not getting a return on your investment, basically it's not a balanced relationship, a balanced situation. This is where you're going to really have to take a hard look at what is the energy that I'm bringing to this situation, and is it being returned? Am I being valued? Because I feel like this is what's going on for you in 2025 is you're being shown your value by being brought to where you're not being valued. Who's not valuing you? And it's time for you to get into this feeling of value where it's unconditional love for yourself. That anybody that's not stepping up to the plate, they have a seat at your table, but they're not bringing anything to the table. It's like they've came to the banquet, but they came empty-handed. And they keep taking, right? They keep enjoying everything on your banquet table, but they're not bringing anything. They're not sharing anything. This is where you have to look at that situation and say, okay, am I codependent? Do I need them to need me? And do I have to learn how to detach? Is it time for me to say, I love you, I see you, but you're devaluing me, you're negating me, you're putting me down, you're making me small. I can't get to what I want. I can't get to what I need. I keep almost reaching the brass ring and falling flat on my face because energetically, they're depleting you. The situation's depleting you. They're taking from you. And so this is the year to be aware of that, to be made aware of that, so that you can move forward. So anything that feels futile. Sorry, guys, it just made me think of like Star Trek. I can't, the Borg would say this. I can't remember what the saying was, but something about futile. Assimilation, I think assimilation is futile to, yeah. Anyway, that's what this feels like. Like anybody who's trying to assimilate you into their story, into their goals, into their dreams, into their whatever. No, you deserve to have your own. You deserve to at least have a seat at your own table and feel wanted and desired and seen for your gifts and talents and everything that you're bringing. And if you've got situations around you that that's not the case, this is going to be the year to pull away, to disconnect, to detach. Doesn't mean you don't love them. Doesn't mean you can't send them prayers and love and light and energetically try to help them, but physically taking a step away so that you can recoup your own energy, so that you can get to the things that you want, because this is your year to start having. And this is the reason that you've not been able to have, because energetically you've been depleted. And this has been going on. I feel like this has been going on for a long time, where you keep trying to have something and it keeps getting taken away, or I almost got it that time, right? And it's time for you to have it. And that's how you get it, by detaching from the people who aren't there for you. And I've had a throat chakra ever since I pulled that first card for you. My throat has been blocked. And so that's throat chakra clearing for you this year. Absolutely, card one. That you're finding your voice. You are also going to be healing or transforming some shame, spiritual shame that you have been holding on to. that you have not been able to step into fully embody, especially as a light worker. You know that you feel, you sense, you have the clarity, but you haven't shared it or you haven't acted on it. And this is going to be the year to do that. Absolutely. Throat chakra clearing and healing. Spiritual shame this year. Wow. Okay, card number 1. These cards are just coming out. These cards are just coming out. All right, so the first one is, that you've been unhappy. You've been really unhappy. And whether this is in your relationship, something's been dysfunctional in your life with the people around you. And for some of you, this has been a narcissistic abusive relationship. I'm going to just throw that out there. For some of you, you've not wanted to really look at this squarely in the face, knowing that this person has been emotionally, mentally, physically, verbally abusing you for their own gain, for their own purpose, that their selfishness knows no limits, that there is no remorse. They say there is. They say they're going to make the changes and they never do. So this has been very a dysfunctional cycle that you've been going through. And so now, I keep seeing marriage, guys. For some of you, this is your marriage, or something you feel married to. So even for those of you in long-standing relationships where there wasn't an actual wedding, it's okay. In your soul, you were married. There was a soul contract, right? And again, some of these soul contracts weren't romantic. Some of them were family. Some of them were soulmates that were friends or coworkers. But this is now your time to move on, detach, surrender. And the surrender is going to come in with, maybe I don't have the resource to move. I don't have the resource to leave. I don't have what I feel I need to be safe and stable to make a change, right? This is where you surrender that. Because once you make the first step, Spirit is going to keep bringing you the next step. They're going to keep bringing you what you need. So they are going to bring you the new job, the new employment, the new way to make money. For some of you, this might be self-employment. For some of you, this might be passive income, right? Where you do something once and you keep generating money from it, right? Whatever it is, it's time to take the step. And this is what this year is going to be for you, taking the step. And it might take you all year to take the step. And that's okay. Because again, you are exactly where you need to be. Don't beat yourself up for not doing this before, doing this in another time, taking that hand when that hand up when it came in. No, this isn't about beating yourself up. This is about moving on. And this is going to be a year of moving on. So when you move on internally, right, you make the disconnect internally, you detach internally. Then you can start making the moves externally, getting the support. Whether it's a family friend or family member or an organization, right? Spirit needs you to take the step, and then they can bring you the next step. But they never jump steps, and they never show you where the next step is going to come from. And that is the surrender piece. Because this is going to be a year of abundance. Once you allow yourself to let go of the fear that's holding you in this place of lack, lack of self-love, lack of material gain, lack of inspiration, lack of knowingness, lack of resource, lack of support. This is your year of moving away from that and moving into the abundance. Yeah. Because the people or the situation, they're never going to be there for you. They're never going to be who you wanted them to be or thought they were. lies, devious, prejudice, a liar, a devious person. I do feel like this is a very self-interested, self-promoting, narcissistic type of person that it's time for you to let go of. And for some of you, maybe you're feeling like maybe this is me. Maybe I'm the one that has deceived. Maybe I'm the one that is struggling with the lying and the being honest. And again, I never want to demonize anybody that's in that category. There's actually 2 blogs on narcissistic empath relationship. There's 4 actually, 4 total. It was a whole series in my blog. So go to my website and definitely check that out if you're resonating with the whole narcissistic empath connection. Or you feel like maybe you're the person that has always done things to keep yourself safe and stable that has really cost other people. Because for some people who have been neglected to the nth degree, this is how they self-preservated themselves, right? They kept themselves safe and stable by making sure they always had what they needed to the detriment of other people, right? So however this is resonating for you, this is the year for you to get out of this cycle of habitually losing because you're giving too much energy or you're taking too much energy. So this is going to be a revelatory year of really kind of bringing things into your face, clearly showing you what it is that just cannot work or take you into the higher realms of Christ consciousness and connection. Because you're here to be a light. You're here to be a light. All right. So we're going to do some tea leaf. And see what more message wants to come through for card number 1. And that one literally jumped out. Yeah, bag. Something important, such as a new job or a raise. Yeah, they want you to know, especially for those of you who are like in a real financial boat. Maybe your finances are tied to your relationship, or this is happening in a job. So of course your finances are going to be, but this is your validation that something is coming in to help you. Something will show up that will support you financially so that you can make the moves that you need to make. Because for some of you, you're going to be shifting careers completely. And that's why this is going to be so triggering for you this year. Because it's like, I've always made my money this way, or I've always had this job, or I've always done this, right? All right, next one that jumped out, the fox. Shrewdness and resourcefulness, especially in business. Yeah, you got it. You got what it takes. You know what you need. You know what you need. So yeah, you're going to be okay. And for some of you, again, I do feel like this will be the year that you step into some kind of passive income or some kind of self-employment. Oh, okay, those 2. And then I'm going to go to the other half of the deck. This is such a big deck. I have to do it in 2s, but desk. Pay attention to your work. Yep. And psychic ability, trust your intuition. Yeah, something's been going on for some of you in the workplace that is absolutely shifting this year. So trust that knowingness that if you feel like someone's been doing you dirty, I feel like that's the validation about you. I'm going to do this. I'm going to do that. I'm going to help you. I'm going to give to you. And then nothing shows up. Trust that, right? The actions speak way louder than the words. So, okay, we had a few jump out from the other half of the deck. So the first one is broken ring, parting of the ways in either romance or business. Yeah, there it is. Wow. Huge validation for some of that. This is what's happening this year for you. Major change to overcome this year. Yeah. Yeah, because they're not going to give you what you deserve. Yeah, and beware of self-delusion. Yeah, whatever you're doing that's futile. right? Whatever you're doing that's futile. Because some of you have really been telling yourself this story that it's going to get better, it's going to be okay. They really are going to come through. They really are going to do this or that. You got to detach from that. You got to let that go, because that is not the case. They would have done it by now. They would have done it by now. And that's what I'm getting for you. So with that, let's get one more message. So we're going to get some advice for 2025 for you. Some advice for 2025. Card number 1. Oh. They literally would not do what they were supposed to, and then they wanted to. I want to take the one on the bottom of the deck since it just showed up for us. So compassion. Yeah. This is the year for you to get into compassion for yourself. And it's going to feel selfish, and it's going to feel uncomfortable, because it's not, you're so used to giving to other people. You're so used to being beneficial for everyone else. This is the year for you to embody compassion for yourself. Wow. And some of you are really going through it. My eyes started to twitch. Whew, because the energy of this, of you, is a lot. You've been through it. You've been taken advantage of. You've been held down. It's time to love yourself. Yeah. Yes. Whatever you're wanting to do, the answer is yes. Whatever way you're wanting to go, the answer is yes. It's time. It's time. It's time to love yourself. It's time to put yourself first. And this is not going to be your comfort zone at all. But it's time. So, sending you so much love, so many blessings, and I hope that was helpful or beneficial. Thank you for being here. All right, card number 2, welcome. What is 2025 bringing you? You got 2. You got 2. So the one that was hiding is the 4 of Forces up in reverse. And then the one that showed up on top is the King of Roses. So let's see what Spirit wants to bring for you, or what is coming for you for 2025. 4 of Forces. 4 of Forces. So focused on my throat chakra that is just got blocked. It's making me feel that there's something going on in your throat chakra this year. There's going to be a clearing this year. So receiving this card reversed puts autumn in the upper position. It reveals that a cycle of harvest and perhaps great abundance is coming to you. You will certainly be called upon to gather up the results of the action you've taken in the past. Your career, creative, or personal projects are about to pay off. Although the results you've been anticipating may be favorable, don't forget that there's effort in the harvest as well as in the planting. There may be some loose ends to tie up or some financial action that needs to be taken. If so, focus on what needs to be done now to bring closure or completion to the matter at hand. Harvest is a time of reaping what you have sown. Enjoy the fruits of your labor. Whether the harvest is big or small, always choose to live in appreciation. Placing gratitude in your Akashic records now will invite many things to generate more gratitude in the future. This is going to be a year of harvest. So that is really, really awesome, because you are ready. If you chose card number 2, I'm feeling like you've been through it the past many decades, last decade, last year. But the seeds that you planted, that's what I'm picking up. You've planted seeds. You've planted a lot of seeds. You didn't know how they were going to show up. You didn't know when they were going to show up. And I feel like 2025 is when they're showing up. Maybe not in the big, grand, but it's starting. It's beginning. Okay, so the King of Roses. Oh, King of Scrolls. No, King of Roses. All right, here we go. Queen and King. Yes, my cat is coming in. This card shows a man holding 2 roses, a red and a white, demonstrating a balance of passion and purity. At his feet are the yellow roses of healing and creativity. This is the King of Love, a man who is balanced and well-rounded. When he appears upright in your spread, it indicates that a potential union could be at hand, either in friendship, business, or even romance. Whether this is a new relationship or the blossoming of an old one, this man brings tender-hearted and thoughtful support. He is also someone who could be helpful in your personal life, especially where home or family issues are concerned. Whether the King of Roses is you or another man, the role of husband or father is now opening to create a happy home and family. This card also lets you know that you're ready to stand up for yourself and take loving but considered action on your own behalf. It's time to increase love and compassion, which always start within. So, okay. Lot coming in all at once for you. So I want to do this very carefully so I don't confuse you. For some of you, this is about love and compassion for yourself. For some of you, this is about standing up for yourself, right, this year. But what I'm really getting for, especially if you chose card number 2, what's happening is you have not had or been lucky in love, maybe ever. Or maybe there's been a pattern in your life of choosing the same type of guy and it not working out over and over again, right? So you finally learned. And so in doing that, you've been single for a minute. So if you are coupled up and you're very happy, I would say go back and choose a different card. Maybe there was another one that was kind of, you were tossed between the two and you didn't know which way to go, right? So this probably was you at some point in your life. But I would say if you are single, you've been single for a minute, or you've been really thinking you've got to get out of a relationship because it, again, mirrors a relationship you've already been in, right? This is your validation that you're coming into a most compatible soulmate situation. So one of the things I would say is if you've got somebody coming back into your life that was not in your life for a while, past relationship particularly, right? Because this is definitely going to be a romantic reading, right? This is romance. This is life partner. So again, if this is not you or you're not resonating with this, please go back and choose a different card or the other one that was popping up for you. So now that we have who needs to be here, what I'm going to say is you saw the pattern. You healed the vibrational frequency that kept pulling in that frequency. Whether it was someone who was needing mommy, someone who was narcissistic, someone who was had an addictive personality or addictive disorder. Like you've been there, you've done that, right? And so you walked away from it. You kind of figured out why you were needing to play that role of people pleaser or fixer or parent, right? Be the mommy or the daddy. So now you've been single for a minute and you've done your awareness, you've done your healing, you've done your shoring up your own, loving yourself, learning how to love yourself, right? So if you're a gentleman watching this King of Roses is going to represent male or female, right? So a most compatible soulmate, however this is going to resonate for you. Even for those of you who are same sex, right? Same sex, heterosexual, whatever, right? We're all human. But what I'm going to say is you are coming into a most compatible soulmate. This King of Roses is representing someone who has also done their work. has also healed themselves, has also loved themselves. Maybe there's someone that's always loved themselves. Maybe there's someone that's always been confident and they just never kind of butted up against the right person. Maybe there's someone that's never really been in love before because they didn't find you yet, right? They didn't know they needed you. They didn't know you existed. However, this is going to happen for the two of you. And again, I'm hearing, when, how am I going to meet this person? Okay. Here's the thing. God is going to join up the dots. The universe is going to join up the dots. Your angels are going to give you the inspiration to be at a certain place or go to a certain thing, right? You don't have to force this. You don't have to make it happen. You don't have to worry about not going to that thing because you were too tired at the last minute. Spirit always brings you what you need, what you deserve, what is for you. You're not going to miss it. Even if you missed it that time, they're going to bring it back around. So stop being in the fear that you're not going to be at the right place at the right time. This year, at some point, this situation is going to show up. This person is going to show up. The situation that brings the two of you together is going to show up. All you have to do is keep doing what you've been doing, staying true to yourself, loving yourself, raising your frequency, healing that part of you that was neglected, that didn't know how to love, that didn't know how to receive love. Because for some of you, you've been in that pattern of wrong person, same type of person, wrong person, time and time again, right? Because you didn't know how to receive love or you didn't know how to set a boundary. And this is what you need to keep doing. Just keep setting those boundaries with people. Keep being discerning when you do meet someone. Because the thing is, when it's the right person, you're going to look at them and they're going to look at you and you're just going to know. Maybe you don't know the first time you look at each other. Maybe it's the third or the fourth time. Because again, Spirit is going to keep putting you guys together, meeting up, bumping into each other, until you guys kind of get it. Oh, I need to give this person a chance. I need to get to know this person, right? Because the problem is, in the past, your situations have always happened too fast. You've jumped too fast. So this is going to be a situation that is going to need slow and steady. And again, the other thing that I would say is what I'm getting is this is going to be not someone you're typically maybe physically attracted to. Maybe it's not the guy that's, or the girl that's most physically fit or the type that you've always gone to in the past. Maybe this is a completely different body type, a completely different hair color, coloring, ethnicity. Yeah. Okay. So the thing that has kept you from this before in all your other situations was the lack mentality. I don't deserve. I'm not good enough. And so now that you have been made aware of your lack mentality, of your lack of self-love, your lack of compassion for yourself, right? You've been able to take steps to change that, to heal it, to move beyond it, to get into connection with your most compatible soulmate through honoring and embracing that divinity that is within you, right? Because when you feel that connection to the divine, you feel that connection to your higher self, you're not going to accept the bad behavior anymore. You're not going to accept the woulda, coulda, shoulda anymore. You're not going to accept the empty promises anymore. So yes, this is now time for you to get out of the lack mentality, to get out of the insecurity. And I feel like for anybody who's seeing this reading that's coming into connection with the most compatible soulmate this year, at any point in this year, for some of you, it might happen way at the end because most of this year is going to be taken up about learning to love yourself, right? For some of you, it might happen right in the first 3 months because you've been working on the learning to love yourself, right? But the actual relationship might not happen until more towards the end of the year because you guys are getting to know each other. You're becoming friends. You're hanging out. You're finishing up old stories, right? Because it is time. It is time for passion. It is time. So when things take off, they will take off. So until that happens, do not have a sense of urgency, because this will be a passionate relationship. Oh, as I just had a whole gaggle of cards literally want to come out. Okay, so let's do this one at a time, shall we? Yeah, the moon, intuition, illusion, dreams. Yeah, intuitively, you guys are going to connect. So intuitively, and I feel like for some of you, you've been connecting on the astral. Like the person that you come into connection with, it's almost like you're going to be like, hey, wait a minute, I know you. Why do I feel like I've known you my whole life? Well, because you've been in connection with each other in the astral. That this has been a very energetic soulmate connection that you've had on the astral. You're going to know each other on a whole different level, not just physical, not just 3D, right? But spiritually, energetically, there's going to be a connection. So when the two of you meet, there will be that wait a minute, I think I know you. I think I recognize you. Yeah. So anybody that you don't feel that with, anybody who's coming in imbalanced, who has discord, who is pulling on you, that is not the person. Sometimes spirit gives us tests. God gives us tests. Are you ready for the most compatible soulmate, or are you still going to choose the same type of person because that is what you're comfortable with? And so it's almost like you have to prove you are in discernment. You have mastered discernment. You now recognize that you're clearly seeing someone for who they are, and you're not going to give them another chance. You're not going to stay in it one more time. You're not going to keep playing the chance after chance after chance. You're going to very clearly see them right up front, and you're going to be like, I get it. You got some stuff going on. I appreciate that, but I can't be a part of it. I have to keep going in my direction. I'm going to pray for you. I'm going to love you from afar. Or, whew, I dodged that bullet again. And I'll pray for them. But I got to keep going, because I know that I have got, and I do deserve someone who's going to show up for me, who's going to love me, who's going to be there for me. Yep. Because this is the year that you're removing the chains of bondage from anything that doesn't serve you, from anyone that doesn't serve you. So for some of you, this is the first half of the year is really walking away from and disconnecting and cutting the cord with the person who maybe you've been broken up with, but you still take the phone call. You still take the booty call, right? This is the year where you completely disconnect. And for some of you, maybe you have children together, right? So you really do kind of disconnect from them personally, and then it just becomes a co-parenting situation, right? Where we're just going to co-parent. I'm not going to get into your drama. I'm not going to, need to know what you got going on in your life. I just know that we have to communicate about our children and leave it at that. Yeah, because this is about me going into new beginnings in love. So this is going to be, I feel like for most of you, someone brand new. If this is someone coming back after a couple of decades or a decade or a couple of years, did they do their work? Very, very few of you who watch this are going to be in this situation. But what you want, again, you're being tested. You have to be discerning. Are they showing you what they're saying? Are they showing up for you the way they're saying they're going to? Have they truly made the changes? Have they been sober? Are they clean? Have they stopped their cheating? Have they figured out why they needed to cheat or what they were lacking? Have they healed? Have they worked with someone? Have they, so just be really discerning, because this is all about your learning discernment. So for those of you that are going to be coming into connection with your most compatible soulmate this year, your discernment's going to be tested, I feel like. Yeah. Yep. Because good news is coming for you. Good news is coming for you, but are you ready to receive it? And for some of you, you've never really had good news. You've never really had someone step up for you. You've never really been in a balanced situation. You've never really had, and I'm talking for those of you who like had like neglectful parents or real abusive situations early in your life, or maybe a really abusive first relationship, right? How do you trust that? So you are having good news. You are having new love. This is about brand new experience. And are you ready for that? And so for some of you, you're going to be tested. The discernment piece is going to be tested before you're really brought into what is for you, so that you're really ready. You're really, really ready. I don't want to scare you, because this is good. This is really good. But for some of you, you've been in such repeatedly bad situations that Spirit really needs you to be ready to receive the good. And you can't be ready to receive the good if you haven't healed. And through having discernment, that is kind of showing that you've healed, because now you're discerning. Now you see clearly someone's red flags and you move in the opposite direction. You don't move towards them thinking you can heal those red flags. You can change those red flags. Yep, because it is time for a period of prosperity and abundance. So that's what this year is bringing you. Prosperity and abundance in relationship. And you have to be ready to break that loaf open and really enjoy it. And if you're someone that's been abused over and over and over again, how do you trust it, right? So that's why it's so important for you to do what you need to do to continue to work on yourself, because that is what is going to join those dots up the fastest. You feel something is lacking in your life, perhaps love, money, or goals. Yeah. So it's getting out of the lack mentality this year, letting go of that lack mentality of, I don't have love. I'm not lovable. People don't love me the way I love them. We got to let go of that. We got to love ourselves so hard that there's no seat at your table for anybody who isn't loving on you hard. And it's going to be really uncomfortable for some of you to receive, because that's never been your experience. Yeah. So for some of you, it will be a reconciliation. But again, have discerning. Have they done their work as much as you've done yours? Or have they done more? Or are they catching up? But they are catching up. They are committed, right? Because it is time this year for celebration, fun, and enjoyment. You've been through the hard stuff, and Spirit wants you to know that this is going to be a year of being able to celebrate, being able to have fun, being able to enjoy. Because when you're in a most compatible soulmate relationship, it is about having fun. You're not always fighting to survive, fighting to love, fighting to be seen, fighting to be heard. Like, there's space to laugh, to have joy, to have fun, and be creative with each other. And I'm hearing inside and outside of the bedroom. So there, take that for what it's worth. All right. So let's see what else Spirit wants to bring on the other half of this deck. If there's anything they want to add. All right. Oh, there it is. And is there maybe one more? Okay, we got two. Cat. Oh, yep. So this is what's coming out for some of you. The reason a situation hasn't worked out in the past is because they were speaking out of both sides of the mouth, telling you one thing, doing another. And that isn't going to change. I feel like that's your validation for some of you, that is what's been going on. Oh, there's a card down here that's flipped. Tankard. Oh, yeah. Celebration, fun, and enjoyment. That's where we're going. And coins. Money will be coming too. Yeah. So for some of you who maybe, this is the year the divorce gets finalized, or you decide to divorce, how will I be financially? I feel like this is your validation to know that you will get the money. The money will come to you, or things will get divided equitably, or there will be money. So to not basically not let whatever the money is keep you in a bad situation, is what this is making me feel. All right. So let's get some advice. Card number 2. Let's get some advice. Oh, you got 3. Yeah, it's time for honest communication, honesty and communication. And for some of you, that's probably why my throat chakra was going a little crazy at the beginning of this reading, because you are learning how to speak up for yourself, ask for what you need, because you're finally going to be with a partner who hears you and wants to help you, wants to give to you, wants to be there for you. No. Emphatic no. So for some of you who are trying to hold on to that old relationship, and you've been feeling it breaking apart, you've been feeling it move on, you've been feeling things shifting within you that's keeping you from not being able to stay. I feel like this is your answer. Do I stay? Do I go? You don't stay. You don't stay in the situation the way it is. Something has to change. And I feel like you're getting the signs and the reminders of what needs to change, how it needs to change, where to go. So, honest communication in the relationship, and also honest communication with yourself. Because for some of you, you really are trying to hold on to something that just is never going to be beneficial for you. So, loving yourself so that you can get into the most compatible soulmate. Having discernment is coming in for you this year so that you can make the choices and decisions that are right for you, so that you can get into the right relationship for you. That for those of you who've been single for a minute and you've been doing your work, have you done it enough to be discerning when somebody from the same vibration tries to come back in? And you can finally say, no, thank you, because I know I got something better coming. And I'm surrendering to the how and the when that's going to happen. And I'm letting God bring me what is for me. Because clearly in the past, I couldn't do it for myself. So now that I'm in connection with my inner being, with my higher self, I'm going to get the shortcut. I'm going to trust and act on what I'm being brought, the signs, the synchronicities, the inspiration, the knowingness. I'm going to trust and act on that. And that's what's going to get me that most compatible soulmate, that relationship that I truly, truly desire. Through being discerning of what I don't want, where I've already been. And I'm not staying there. I'm moving on. So thank you for being here. I hope you found this beneficial. Card number 3. Here we go. Card number 3. Thank you for being here. The King of Scrolls. The King of Scrolls is the first card. Let's see what we've got here. Oh, and I opened it right up. Oh my gosh, if that's not synchronicity. King of Scrolls. A man holds a scroll as he looks across a well-groomed garden. A number of scrolls lay on the garden bench next to him. He is the King of Scrolls, a man of learning, and he can be helpful to you in a number of ways. This man may be present in your life already. If not, you'll be meeting him soon. He may be an author, teacher, or communicator who will assist you in some professional way. He could also be a friend who brings wisdom through his own studies or spiritual practices. Be open to the guidance this man offers, or it could help lead your life in exciting new directions. As with any king or queen, the King of Scrolls may also be a new love interest for you for another, depending upon his location in the spread. His wisdom is compelling, and there is likely to be many interesting and lively discussions. This card may also represent you or someone you know who is longing for deeper understanding and a greater clarity of thought. Now is a great time to pursue new interests, perhaps even enroll in some classes or attend a lecture or two. A position in teaching, counseling, advertising, writing, publishing, or the like may be on the agenda now. A treasure trove of discovery is waiting for you, so let your mind and your life soar. So this year, there feels like a new adventure, male or female, a new adventure by meeting someone new. I'm not feeling like this is going to be a completely love interest for most. I feel like if you were drawn to card number 2, you might want to take a look at that for any kind of connection, romance reading. But this I'm really feeling is an awakening, a spiritual journey, taking the next step on your staircase of ascension is what it feels like. And it feels like you're coming into connection with someone who can lead you, help you, guide you, someone who's going to challenge you, but in a positive way, like a challenge that it inspires you, sparks you is what I'm kind of getting. So be on the lookout for new people coming into your life, new person coming into your life, male or female. It's going to be a masculine energy, but that doesn't mean that it couldn't be a woman with a lot of masculine energy, a woman with a lot of leadership, or a man with a lot of leadership. So male or female, the energy is the divine masculine showing up, helping you to get more in control, more focused, taking the next step on whatever the pursuit is, whatever the dream is, whatever the challenge is, whatever it is that you're wanting. So we had a few kind of come out here. So let's take a look at these and see what we got. Yeah, because it's time. It's time for you to move on. It's time for you to get out of should I or shouldn't I? It's time to really start to lean into what you're being drawn to. Compromise in this situation is more of a compromise with yourself. Like almost like I'm not ready to take a big leap of faith, but I can take a step. I can get some information. I can learn. I can get to know this person. I can get to know the information. I can get to know or get more information or learn about what I'm being brought to. And I feel like that's what this year is going to be for you, to be curious, to be open to new knowledge, new ways of thinking, new ways of doing things, new perspectives. I feel like this person that comes in to teach you or to guide you, a counselor, is challenging you. It's challenging an old story. It's challenging an old timeline. And it's time to get excited for the new, right? So really allowing yourself to pause any kind of struggle or strife. Time to pause forcing something. It hasn't been working. And I think that this is your confirmation that it's not going to in that way. It doesn't mean what it is you're wanting isn't going to work at all. It's just not going to happen the way you think it's going to happen. So whatever you're learning, whatever the next step on the journey is, I feel like it's going to happen this year, but it's going to happen in a very, very unexpected way is what I'm feeling. Very different than what you think, because you've never been there before. That's why. You don't know what it's going to look like because you've never been there before. You don't know, you may not even know it exists. You may not even know it exists. You know, sometimes, and this is what I'm getting for you, pile number 3, you don't know what you don't know. And this is the year that you're brought what you don't know, in whatever way that looks for you. Unexpected changes. So yes, things are going to change very unexpectedly, and it's going to change your safety, your stability, how you think about things, how you feel about things, what you know. And that's what you're being brought. You're being brought what you don't know. And this information changes everything for you. But you are being brought someone to help you go through this, someone to help guide you, whether it's a professional counselor or it's a spiritual counselor or it's a friend, a partner. But you're not going through it alone this year. So wherever you're being drawn, it's time to get into, it's time for you to make the choices for you. You're going to have choices this year. And you have to really ground down into who you are and what you want, and listen to your inner guidance system that is going to force you out of your comfort zone. It's going to bring you choices that you have never been brought before because of the new information, because of the new perspective, because of the what you didn't know that you didn't know before. All right, so last card. Let's see what the outcome for this year is going to be for all of you. Although I feel like the outcome is going to be a whole new road, a whole new perspective. Yeah, getting out of lack mentality and getting out of lack of self-control. Lack. You're getting out of lack this year, and you're doing that through changing how you think about things, changing how you feel about things, changing how you go about things. Because again, what is coming in this year is bringing you what you don't know that you don't know. And I know that sounds vague and I know that sounds convoluted, but believe me, and it is so true. We don't know what we don't know because we've always been in this lane. We've always done these things. We've always been around these people, this situation. We didn't know there was a whole different way over here. We didn't know there was a different road over here. We didn't know how other people were doing it. They were being more successful or they were being challenged in other ways, but we've always been here. And I feel like you are being bumped into this whole new road that it brings you all kinds of new experiences this year, all kinds of new ideas this year. I feel like you might try very different things this year. Yes, because this is a year of getting back to the basics. This is a year of slowing down. Because when you're brought new information, when you're being brought the what you didn't know that you didn't know, you need time to assimilate it. You need time to settle into it. You need time to learn it. You need time to embrace it. And so this is going to be a really good year of getting back to basics, eating cleaner, being more physical, journaling more, being more, grounding more, being more quiet, not being so driven to be here, do this, do that, but getting back to the basics of just really settling into you. Yes, because you are going to have challenges to overcome, obstacles to move through, because when you're making big changes, which is what I feel like this is going to happen for you this year, when you're being brought new perspectives, you're being challenged in new ways, right? There's things that come at you when you're trying to change. People want to keep you the same. They want you to stay where they feel comfortable with you. And that isn't going to be the case. You're not going to be able to do that. So people are going to be accusing you of maybe being more grandiose or being better or just, anything that kind of tries to bring you back down to their level. So be aware of that that's not you, that's them. Love yourself. Love yourself. Keep going in the direction you're being inspired to go. Learn what you need to learn so you can move towards what it is you deserve this year. All right, let's go to the other half of the pile and see what else Spirit wants to bring for this year for you as you morph into the next version of you, the higher version of you, the next step of you in your evolution with new people, new situations, new challenges. Okay. Yeah. Because people are going to misunderstand. They're going to misunderstand what you're doing, who you are becoming. Because again, they don't want to understand the new. They don't want to know the new version of you. The person who now sees out of the lens of compassion isn't in the blame or shame, isn't playing in the criticism and judgment anymore, is learning how to love themselves and love other people. And through that, detaching where you need to, disconnecting where you need to, cutting cords where you need to, understanding that people are where they are as you move into your new step, your new paradigm, your new story, your new version, learning what you didn't know, how to be in new relationship, how to be in new connection with yourself and with others, how to go towards your dreams in a way that is sustainable. getting out of lust, getting out of the physical relationship, getting more into the emotional relationship, the spiritual relationship. Knowing that the physical relationship is part and parcel, it's not the end all be all. Knowing that a physical relationship is the most form of energetic exchange. And when you're not doing that with the right people, you're actually giving away your energy, your power. So this is reclaiming your power this year through taking back your physical space, your body. I think I want one more. Oh, as it comes flying out. Yeah, this is what you're getting this year, the help that you need. Assistance and guidance. There it is. The right people, the right situations, the guidance, the not knowing what you don't know, and getting the information that you didn't know you didn't know. It's going to make all the difference. So being able to receive the help or being able to ask for the help is going to be so important this year. The trying to go it alone, the trying to strive and drive, the trying to force a round peg into a square hole. This is not the year for that. It's not going to work. This is the year where Spirit is bringing you the right people in the right situations, but you have to then embrace it. And that's what you're being asked to do this year. Embrace the information that's coming to you that feels like it's coming from left field, and it feels so different because it is, because you didn't know it existed. But you are now on this next step that is bringing that to you because you deserve it. Because you deserve it. It's time. It's time to get out of the hurt and the hardship. You're ready. Whatever you've been doing has moved you. And this is the year to move into receiving. All right, let's get some advice. Yeah, this is a year of transformation. Big transformation this year. So just know that what you're feeling, what you're going through this year, it's all part of the transformation into the success, the abundance, the receiving, the relationship, the money, the ease, the grace, the compassion, the unity consciousness, Christ consciousness, 5D transformation out of the 3D, out of all the lower frequencies, the fear, the grief, the anger, the criticism, the judgment, the greed, the lust, leaving all of that behind and getting into respect and compassion and love for yourself that radiates out to others. So for those of you who've never had the type of relationships that you want, it's because you are going through the fire this year. You're going through the fire to come out the other side into the phoenix rising. Card number 3, that's what I'm getting. You're the phoenix rising this year. So yes, will it be hard sometimes? Yes. Will it be scary sometimes? Yes. Will it be daunting? Yes. Will it be worth it? Absolutely. Because you're being brought what you don't know. You're being brought what you can't know because you've never been that version of yourself before. You're being brought the people that are going to help you do that. The situations that are going to help you. Are you ready to receive it? Are you ready to trust? Are you ready to be vulnerable? Because that's what this year is going to require of you. Thank you for being here. I hope this resonates. Thank you so much. All right, card number 4. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Thank you so much for being here. Let's see what 2025 is bringing for you. Caught in the ruins in reverse. So let's see what 2025. Oh, Synchronicity. I just opened right up to the page. And this is like the second time this has happened. Crazy. Spirit is in the house, guys. Spirit is in the house. A horrible, dark, or confining situation is coming to an end. You've discovered that you can break free from self-imposed limits. Now you've escaped and you've started to put prison of past histories and beliefs behind you. It's time to move into the green growth and harvest that your new efforts and power create. Be sure to stay the course. These old histories have a tendency to pull you back. If you start to slip, catch yourself. Recreate the new thoughts and actions of the new you. You've stepped into your power, and it's yours forever. It's time. Wow, card number 4, it's time. The dark, horrible, or confining situation is coming to an end or has ended. And this is the year for you to now step into your glory, the gloriousness of who you came here to be. This is very beautiful. But yes, are the old energies going to try to pull you down? Absolutely. Are the old energies going to try to keep you that old story or that old version of yourself? Absolutely. But it is time for you to soar. And so anybody trying to pull you down, pull you back, really step on you in any way, this is where you cut the cord. This is where you detach. This is where you say, I see you, and I'm not doing that anymore. It's not who I am anymore. And maybe you haven't been that version of yourself in a while, but this is the year that you truly embody. You put on the new mantle of this new version of yourself, this higher version of yourself. I feel like if you chose card number 4, you're really ready to step into the new, take on the new, take off. This is a year I feel like you will take off. So this will be a year of possibility and a year of what will feel like growing pains. So what is this new mantle going to look like? Let's pull some cards. All right, let's see what we got here. Oh, that one really wanted to come out. I love it. Yeah, spiritual transformation, new beginnings, letting go. This is a year. This is going to be a year of new beginnings. And so the only way to have a new beginning is to have an ending. And so there are going to be things where cords are going to have to be cut or walking away, disconnecting. We never, completely disconnect. We can send love, we can send light, we can pray. But sometimes we do have to move ourselves physically out of situations that really just are not going to serve us. Your cards keep wanting to come out in like groups. So, all right, another 2 cards. So yes, look at that. New beginnings, opportunity, wealth, fear of moving on, refusal of letting go. And that's what I was feeling, the fear of the letting go. So we have big transformation this year. New beginnings, spiritual transformation. You're not the same person. I feel like if you were called to this card, this isn't something new. This isn't something that's just happening this year. I feel like this is you've already had this. You've already had the death. You've already had the letting go, right? Now it's about the rebirth. Look at that. From the death card to the Ace of Pentacles. Holy cow. So it's a huge new beginning this year. Lots of success, new opportunities, things happening to really shore up your safety and stability, really shoring up your finances, really shoring up family connections, right? So a lot of root chakra happening this year that is going to really bring in just a real sense of this was the right place, this was the right situation, this was the right decision, this was the right move, this was the right letting go, this was the right walking away, this was the right whatever ending, right? Whatever the ending was, it was right. This is the year that's going to promise you, this is the year that is going to make you know, feel, understand why that big ending happened, had to happen, couldn't not happen, even though it might have been the last thing you wanted. But the only way for you to get to this success, the only way was on the other side of that situation, that relationship, that person, that idea, that goal. So whatever ended, this is your validation that you will gain on the other side of the grief or the anger, the resentment, the threat, the abandonment. On the other side of that is the new beginning, is the success, is the gain, is the growth. And yes, there's going to be fear of moving on. We're human. And this is where now you have to shore up your courage, right? Courage isn't the absence of fear. Courage is going despite the fear. And this is the year that you are going to have bouts of fear, and you're going to have bouts of courage, because you got to keep moving in the new direction. And it's so new. You're forging that path every step of the way. You're forging a new path this year. You're forging a new path this year, and it's going to be a beautiful path, but it is going to change you. It is going to keep transforming you. That this transformation that you're going through this year is going to be an evolution. So it will be most of the year before you really start to feel like there's a culmination. I don't want to say ending, because we're on this journey, right? There's no ending. There's easier planes. There's times of success. So you're going to have to shore up those boundaries this year. This is going to be the year of shoring up the boundaries so that you can keep moving forward and not slipping back into what is comfortable, because that's going to be so attractive to go back to what you know. And every time you try to do that this year, something is going to pop you back out of it. So it's not going to work, is what it feels like. Yeah. Yes. Culmination. Look at that. And I saw the word, said the word, drew the word. Beautiful. Thank you, Spirit. Synchronicity. There it is. You are coming into culmination. So you are coming into wealth, inheritance, stability, security, prosperity, family, success, comfort, abundance, long-term success, financial security, tradition, establishment, affluence, continuity, roots, permanence, retirement. This is long-standing abundance. This is long picture, right? This isn't instant gratification. This year takes you into the big picture. So it is going to be a year of transformation, a year of keep committing yourself to the process, setting the boundaries, not getting pulled back into anybody else's BS, not letting them pull you back into any BS. This is the time for you to get that long-term abundance and prosperity. All right. So let's pull some more messages. Oh, that one literally jumped and jumped back in. Oh, and we have another. Oh, okay. I love it. Take care. Enemies are working against you. Yeah, you're going to have people constantly this year trying to pull you back into the old story, pull you back down into the old muck, the old mire. This is not the year to allow that. This is the year to set the boundaries, cut the cords, keep moving forward. Keep working, because you're going to get to the achievement and the success if you keep doing the work. The achievement and the success is on the other side of the transformation. You got to keep going this year. Don't give up. Oh, and one literally flipped under. Candle, you will be shown the way. How? So yes, you will be shown the way. You will be shown the way. Spirit will keep leading you to what you need. Remember, they're not going to give you a step until you take a step. So be discerning this year of where you put yourself, who you put yourself with. the energy of things. Be very discerning this year. That is going to keep you in the flow, keep you going in the right way, keep you on the path that you want to be on, not getting pulled back into an old path that just no longer serves you. It's not who you are anymore. You've transformed out of that energy. And anytime you try to step back into it, they're going to bump you right back out through a challenge, through a difficulty, through someone doing you dirty, right? Wishbone, a wish is granted. Yeah. Yep. A wish is granted this year. Keep staying positive. Keep staying in positive expectation. Keep doing the work. Keep taking the steps because it's coming. It's coming this year. You're going to get it this year. Birth or conception of a child or enterprise. So definitely a new beginning in some way. And family matters. So family transforming this year. So for some of you, possible child. So if you don't want a child, I would be aware of that. And if you do want a child, I would say there's energy around that for you. So let's get some advice. Card number 4, let's get some advice. I think the big thing, card number 4, is don't give up. Keep going. Don't give up. Don't let anything get in your way. Don't let anybody pull you back. Don't let your own internal story, self-doubt, self-sabotage get in your way this year. Keep going. Keep going forward. Yeah. What you've been through was a learning experience. Learn the lesson. Take the lesson and move forward. Keep shining your light forward. Keep following the light forward. Keep going. Don't give up this year. That's the advice. Do not give up this year. Yep. And lean on Mother, Father, God when you can't see the way or you're being pulled back or the fear is overtaking you. It's going to happen. Lean on God. Surrender to God. Give it to God. Let God be your light if you can't be your own light. If you can't see the light, if you can't see the way, call on God. Help me. Show me the way. Give me the sign. This is not the year to give up. This is the year to give in. Give in to the surrender. I don't know how and I don't know when, but you're going to bring it to me. I am ready. And receive. Thank you for being here. I hope that resonated. Hello, card number 5. Welcome. Thank you for being here. What does Spirit want to bring you 2020, or what is 2025 bringing you? What can Spirit bring us about what 2025 is bringing you? That was a better way to phrase that. The journey. 7 of Roses. The journey. Seven of Roses. A seaport teems with activity as cargo is loaded off and onto many different ships. 2 women on a small, tender boat are on their way to the great ship that will take them on the journey. 2 men in their trunks and case wait to follow. This card shows a time for a journey, a move, or a relocation. You may be taking your work or creative endeavors on a whole new direction, whether figuratively to a new industry or literally to a new city. However this journey occurs, it is sure to take you to new places and greater opportunities. Although it may require leaving something safe behind, this is not the time for staying safe in the harbor. It's time for finding and exploring new worlds, so get packed. Wow. Card number 5. Things are moving this year, whether you're moving physically, spiritually, energetically, creatively, you're moving. I feel like this is going to be a journey, and everything starts within. So the journey has begun within. You probably have been feeling it for a while now, at least the last 3 months. You've been feeling the impetus to go, to change, to do, to expand. And I feel like this 2025 shows you what that means or where that's taking you. So something is opening up to give you the sign, the synchronicity, the opportunity for the movement. Let's dig into this. I want to see where the cards take us before I say any more. Where are you going? Where are you going on this journey? Okay. They're like literally falling. I like where it's going. All right. I just want a couple more cards and then we're going to dig in. That one wanted to come out. Oh, yeah. Perfect. Oh, and you got a couple at the end there. Oh, I love it. Okay. Let's share. So it's been difficult. It's felt insurmountable. Things have been just one problem or challenge after another. And you have, and I'm feeling like these are your thoughts. Like you've had very self-sabotaging thoughts. Like, I don't deserve, I'm not good enough. Very much an unworthiness feeling. Very much an unworthiness feeling. Might be something that you have battled for a long time. Maybe it's something you're just figuring out that has been keeping you and holding you back, not feeling like you deserve. So you keep putting yourself in situations where you don't deserve. Things haven't been able to show up for you because you keep, again, self-sabotage is what I'm feeling with this card. You've had a lot of self-sabotage in your past, right? So, and some of that is because of some self-sabotaging ways of being and doing. So whether there's been self-destructive behavior, addiction, lying, cheating, stealing, like all the things, right? All the things we do to get in our own way. And now you've recognized that, or you've healed from it, or you have worked on it. And I feel like that's what happened prior to about 3 months ago. Like you were really working on getting out of this, always being in your own way, always making the choices and decisions that kept holding you back. There's really been like an epiphany or an aha moment that happened in 2024 at some point where you were like, that's not who I want to be. That's not where I want to go anymore, right? So now there's this energy around you of things starting to show up. The good stuff is starting to flow in. If it hasn't, it's going to. But how do you trust it? How do you trust it when things have always not shown up, or you've blocked your blessings because of the unworthiness, because of the lack of feeling like you deserve, feeling like you don't have enough love, enough money, enough anything, right? You've blocked your blessings in the past. You, and I'm not to say you're a bad person. I'm not to say that you did this intentionally. Nope. This was the energy that you were emitting because of whatever the story was that you were given as a child, or things that gave you this story, our lessons, our experiences, our models, who taught us not to demonize anyone. Sometimes our parents don't even know what's in their way, right? They don't know that they have a victim mentality or they have a unworthiness mentality, right? But you have learned. You've been the unicorn in your family. You've done the generational cursing, healing, curses healing. You've done it. I feel like this is your validation. You've done it. You've done the healing, the generational curses. You've done the healing, the past life trauma that you came into this life with. So up until 2025, you've been through it. If you chose card number 5, you've been the unicorn in your family. And that's why this is the year of your journey. You're receiving. And for some of you, it's going to be really hard to receive and really hard to trust the good things because it's always been difficult. It's always been hard. Because you've been breaking the generational curses. You've been healing the past life traumas for yourself and others. This has been a karmic lifetime for you. Card number 5, a very karmic lifetime for you. So 2025 is your new beginning. 2025 is where your safety and your stability get shored up, where you start receiving the money and the relationships and the support and the love. But it's going to be your job to be able to receive it, to deserve it. Only you can shift the internal from glass half empty to glass half full. This will be a year of gratitude, getting into gratitude. This is the year where your safety and your stability get shored up. This is a paradigm shift year for you. The story that has been your story is no longer your story. You are now wishes fulfilled and new beginnings. That's your story going forward. For the rest of this lifetime. I don't say that lightly. I don't say that lightly at all. You've been through it your whole life. Challenge after challenge, letdown after letdown, failure after failure. Done dirty, relationship after relationship. But you've healed. You've won. You've overcome. You've survived. And now the universe is saying, you're there. You did it. You're moving on. You're moving on from the lack. You're moving on from the despondency, the desolation. You're moving on into deservedness. This is a year of you taking the leap of faith. You've got to let go of the fear of the unknown. Not be impulsive. Slow and steady wins the race. But this is the year that you come into what it is you've been wanting. But you've got to do that in a grounded way. You've got to do that in a meaningful way. Walking with God. The example they're giving me is like when you're a little kid and you go into a store with your parent or your guardian and you don't think you're going to get anything. You know that money's tight. You know that maybe they're on a budget, they've got a list. You don't have any expectation. You're actually disappointed because you see all the things that you want. But you know, you can't ask. You're not going to receive, you're not going to get. You're being pulled along because you have to be there. You don't want to be there. There's nothing good here for you. They're going to get what they need and they're going to leave, and you're going to be disappointed because you know not to ask. There's no yes in that scenario for you. And then all of a sudden, they hand you a lollipop and you are over the moon and you're dancing around and you're so excited, and you drop it and you break it. And now you don't have it. And that's what I feel like Spirit wants you to not do this year. When all the good things come, sit down, take a breath, get grounded. Hold that lollipop like it's precious. It's precious. And know that you deserve it, and know that it is for your enjoyment. And you didn't have to do anything to get it. And there's going to be a lot that comes to you this year where you feel like you don't deserve it because it's more than you've ever received before. But it's because you are now in a time of peaceful resolution. You're surrendering your ego. You're giving it to God. And as long as you do that this year, you don't get into that overexcited, I don't deserve, oh my gosh, I have it, so I lose it energy. But you get into that, oh my gosh, I got it, I deserve it, and I'm going to get more. Because this is my birthright, even though I never knew that. Where I am is where I'm supposed to be. Because I am a child of God, and I do deserve all of the good things. And no one's going to snatch it out of my hand. No one's going to take it away from me, because I've done the work to get here. I've done the work. I've done the healing for myself, for my past life selves, and for my family selves. I've done the work. And 2025 is bringing you the moving into the sunshine, the moving into the connection to unity consciousness, into your higher self, into receiving receptivity mode, because you do deserve. You do deserve. Let's see what else. What other messages Spirit wants to bring through the door? Opportunities are waiting for you. That's what this year is going to be about. Are you ready to walk through the new door? Are you ready to walk through the new door? A door unlike any door you've ever been through before. Daunting? Yes. Big? Yes. Overwhelming? Yes. You're going to need some courage? Yes. Do you have what it takes? Yes. Do you believe it? You have to answer that question. And if the question is no, or answer is no, then that's the work you still have to do. Dark-haired woman, dealing or relationship with a woman with dark complexion or hair this year. So just know that that will be coming in. Be discerning. It doesn't say if it's a positive or negative dealing. Be discerning. And this is a year also for all of us to practice discernment as we move into 5D consciousness. Problems to be resolved. That's what's going to happen this year. You're going to resolve a lot of things, new things, old things, but that's what's happening this year. You're moving into resolution. This journey is taking you into positivity and new opportunities and new beginnings and deservedness. Oh, okay. Oh, dark man, dealings or relationship with a man with darker complexion. Damn, interesting. Interesting. You know, I did it. You know, I Oh, wait, no, yeah. Wow, so we got dark woman and dark man. Interesting. So what this is telling me, honestly, yes, this could be physical. This could be, physical dealings with a dark man or dark woman. But I'm also feeling like this year that you are going to have to get into balance with your divine masculine and divine feminine. That's what this year is going to be bringing you. Are you ready to not only be creative and nurturing, but also be the leader in your own life? And so balancing the divine masculine and divine feminine, card number 5, is what you're being asked to do to get into being able to receive in the bigness that is coming in for you. The big opportunities, the big success, the big relationship, the big deservedness. So yeah, so take that how that resonates, whether it's your divine masculine and feminine, or you really are coming into connection with a dark-haired person this year. I think for most of us, it's going to be the divine feminine, divine masculine aspect. If you were kind of drawn to card number 2, I would say watch that, because that is a relationship reading. Do not be tempted by lower standards. Nope, we're not that person anymore. And younger man, dealings or relationship with a younger man. And that also is making me feel like don't be making choices and decisions out of the old version of yourself. Staying safe and stable, because that old decision making, that old story or that old energy makes you feel safe and stable, and it's not going to. It's not going to. Yeah, don't be tempted to go back to the old ways, guys. Don't be tempted to go back to the old ways this year. Keep moving forward. Keep being courageous this year. Keep being courageous this year. So let's see what we got for advice. Yeah, listen deeply. There it is. So the intuition and the guidance are going to come from your higher self to keep moving you forward this year, to keep staying you in success, new opportunities, new story, new journey, new relationship. Like, keep going forward, and how you go forward, it's coming from your inner guidance, your higher self, your gut instinct. Trust it and act on it this year. It's going to keep you going in the right direction. Thank you for being here. I hope that resonated. Take care.